Today we are in Santorini, Greece, a true bucket list item.
Absolutely. It was one of our favorite stops on our first Mediterranean cruise, and we want to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Marshall.
And welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You don't want to miss all of these Mediterranean cruise videos and others we have coming up. So make sure you subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
As mentioned, we're now in Santorini, but this was also our first signature royal excursion, which I don't know if we really knew what that meant, except that it was curated special, and I thought it was actually well done. I think the first hint of this being different is we were immediately in a small group, even on the ship, waiting for our tender boat. And they're usually kind of jam-packed, and the crew is usually loud and trying to pack you in and tell you what to do. And as you could see, this was a tender boat that was fairly empty.
It was just for our little group.
I felt kind of special.
And the scenery was so beautiful. And we weren't even on an island yet. We were in there was this crater sort of thing that was created by the volcano.
Yeah, this volcano collapsed into itself and created the sea with most of the island just circled around it.
So our first stop was actually on a little island of Therassia. This island is so small, there are only 250 people that live here. But they also have a vineyard.
A winery, yeah.
A winery. So the first stop was a wine tasting and a tour of this winery.
Yeah, this island is so small, they only have minibuses. They don't even have a full-size bus. So it took us 3 trips to get the 25 or so people to the winery, but it also just gave everyone time to decompress and look around while the group formed at the place.
And I was surprised because I was expecting like really tall like grapevines, and as you can see, these were really, really low. So I was really surprised by that.
It wasn't you. I was like, did they pull them? Do they plant them? It was confusing until we learned more.
Yeah. But this was actually a pretty new build of this building. They are associated with this, their logo. You can see there's 2 peaks, and one is Therassia and the other Santorini. So it's they have vineyards in both islands.
Yes. So after we gathered, we went out for first a walk around and a tour with, I think, the manager of the place, and she did a good job of explaining a lot of things that we're seeing here.
Yeah, and some of these are really like baby plants, and some of them are quite old plants and very prolific. One of the things that I was surprised by is what she explained, like why the plants are so low, and it's because first of all, the ground is has a lot of pumice stones, which is from the volcanic activity, and then secondly, they're right off the ocean, so there's all this high wind and salt. So they actually shape the vines into this like little round, almost like a basket, and the grapes end up growing like on the inside of the basket. That's
right. Tall vines, the grapes would get all ruined. So that was a real interesting technique.
And then they took us downstairs to where they actually make the wine out of the grapes. And I was surprised that they actually only harvest the grapes for 2 weeks in August. 2 weeks, and that's their entire harvest for the season.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for 2 weeks, and you got to do it right, or the wine, is wasted.
Speaking of doing it right, everything is temperature controlled. It is humidity controlled and very pristine clean conditions there.
And somebody asked, and it is true, everything you see there is full of wine.
All those barrels are full.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there's vats. Obviously, the everything ferments so that it makes wine, and they do wine tastings every single day. And these are professionals that do this with a very particular technique in a clean room, they called it.
Yes. Now, talking about professionals, I really enjoyed learning how to taste wine. I am not a connoisseur. I will never be a connoisseur, but the ability to know the steps to smell, swirl the wine, and taste it, I'm glad I learned. This was a highlight for me just to have that kind of in my knowledge bank.
So they had us taste 2 whites and 1 red, and they also have grapes that are just Therassia, grapes that are just Santorini, and then they have wines that are a mixture from both. So that was also very interesting. I thought the whole entire thing was just very scientific and artistic.
Yes. So this was just the start of our wonderful day, and our tender, although I had to circle around a couple times as the groups were there, it was just nice to see the tender come just for you, and we hopped on.
Also, I also wanted to say that at the wine tasting, they also served us like cheese and olives and tomato paste, and they also had some meats that we didn't eat, but it was nice to have those hors d'oeuvres there.
All local too, local cheeses and meats.
Now we're making our way over to Santorini.
And the first town is Oia, and you can see the town up on the cliffs. And I got to tell you, this was like beauty for me because I've only seen it in textbooks or movies, and there we are.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal, but it got really real.
Yes.
Walking up that steep hill.
In order to get to that bus, we had to walk up a pretty steep hill, and the bus then took us the rest of the way, and it dropped us off close to the center square at the top of the hill. But we had to walk up a little bit, and I thought it was just really interesting to see all the vendors and giving samples. It was nice, a nice walk up there.
Yeah, and we had a gorgeous day. Gorgeous weather day. So yeah, there was no complaints. To see all those blue domes and the vibrant blue trim and doors and shutters, it was sort of surreal.
So our tour guide gave us time, like an hour and a half, and gave us 2 options. The road most traveled, so you can get those Instagram photos, or the road less traveled, and you just see beauty. And you may know us by now, we went the road less traveled.
But, I mean, there are views everywhere here, just to be clear. It's more about avoiding the crowds, but there's beautiful scenery all around.
For me, it was jaw-dropping beauty, and we have been so fortunate to go to so many places on our cruises. This was right up there. Again, you said it was one of the best days, like blue sunshine, not a cloud in the sky, and then you're just overlooking the cliffs and the water. It was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to end up saying amazing a lot in this video because honestly,
it was. I won't say it. Not right there.
It was spectacular.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. Surreal.
So you mentioned we had meat and cheeses.
Yeah.
But we were like, let's just chill and relax. So we went for another bite to eat. It was really lunchtime. So we found this beautiful place up on a balcony with an amazing view. Uh-oh. Is it amazing?
Yeah, you said amazing. Oh, you know what else was amazing? The feta cheese and honey appetizer that we had there was probably one of the best dishes I have ever eaten. That was so good.
Yeah, it was delicious. The honey tasted amazing with all the cheese. Everything was fresh. I could have stayed there a lot longer.
Yeah.
If we had 2.5 hours, we may have stayed there another half hour, just with that view and the food.
So the name of the restaurant was Flora. Very much recommend.
Absolutely. The view along with the food, it's...
And the staff were super nice.
Yes. He gave us some information about the seasons, and it was informational in addition to great food.
Yeah. So we walked back down the street, and look, I mean, the marble walkways, I think we were walking on marble. Was that marble?
I thought so.
It was just so pretty. Like, I just kept snapping picture after picture after picture, sent them to my daughter, and it was like, I don't know, we were head over heels in love with Santorini.
Now, you can look at this and say, okay, this is just tourism 100%. Yet as we're walking around, we're passing a local school and playgrounds with kids. So there is real life in these towns, even though they do have their tourist season.
Yeah. So now we left Oia, and we are now on our way to Fira.
Yeah, and it was a relatively short bus trip, but it was long enough for our tour guide to give us a whole bunch of information and to give some context to where we've been and where we're going. So here we are, another town, another street.
Another church.
Another church that we went into this one, and this is the Greek Orthodox Church in Fira, and it was open, and we took advantage of just looking at the architecture and, you know, the sculptures. It was really amazing.
Yeah, the artwork is just really spectacular. There's just so high, like the top of this dome. I don't even know how I have no idea how tall it is. It's probably somewhere online, but it was just to actually look up and see this was really something special.
Yeah. No. Oh, let's wait. Again, this tour was very relaxed, so we had another hour and a half of time to go out on our own, and we began to walk, but we also realized that it was more crowded than when our path we took in Oia.
Much more crowded. This is sort of like the main street, if you will, and at the end of it is the big Catholic church,
right.
And a lot of people were going there to take pictures of that. We decided to take a little bit different route. We sort of exit stage left, found a place. Now, we ended up actually sort of making this day sort of a progressive meal.
Yes.
Because we had the appetizers at the wine tasting, we had our meal in Oia, and now we decided to get dessert in Fira. So we got smoothies, which were amazingly good.
Delicious.
It was a nice hot day, and those really hit the spot. And then we had a local specialty, baklava. And how would you say that baklava was?
Melt in your mouth again. It was honey forward as opposed to sugar and things like that, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, it was really good, and the views were great.
And again, it was relaxed, and here we are, you know, again, not in the most busiest area, and we're just leisurely walking back to the bus. And of course, you can see here, you can even see our ship down below.
Just even the pebble path that we were walking on, that's like an actual street.
Yes.
It's just such a different, very different from anything we've seen in the US, at least.
Absolutely. And the olive trees all over the place. And then we hopped on our bus, and again, we didn't have to go to that major log jam of a tender port. They took us to another port that we could get on a different tender ship and just have a relaxed ride back to the Odyssey of the Seas.
Overall, Santorini was just a thrilling place to be. It's just absolutely gorgeous. If we were ever given the opportunity to go to Santorini again, 1000% I would go there in a heartbeat.
And you know, if you've watched our other videos, we like to just go out on our own, but to make sure you get the access to the most time in these places, this may be a place where we suggest to do a excursion just to get up to those places faster than waiting in a long line.
Mm-hmm. So the views that night when we were pulling away were just beautiful too, and you could see that very steep road going up to the top there. So anyway, let us know if you have any questions or any comments. We definitely appreciate your time today, and thank you for supporting our channel, and yeah, hope you have a good day.
Take care.